Hey everybody, Guilty here. I'm wanting to speak off the cuff today. Speak from the heart, I guess. Usually when someone takes their glasses off, it means something serious is about to happen. I was doing some work earlier. I work from home, and I had a Asmongold video running on my other screen titled, "I Don't Want to Hide It Anymore." I was curious what it meant. It was sort of foreboding. Clicked on it, and he speaks to some health problems and health scares he has had here recently. He wants to make some changes and live healthier and not have these kinds of problems. Totally get that. However, he did say something that is warranting this response, as it were, and it is his mentality towards medications.
I'm going to change my diet and eat a little bit differently because I don't want to have to go on medication. I think that the first thing, people that go on medication die, in my opinion. Like, I think that, like, there's all these times, like, I know people that are, like, younger than me and they have 5 different medications. That's terrifying. Absolutely fucking terrifying. And so I want to do whatever I can to, like, be able to, like, overcome it physically myself. I think that the human body is made to last. It's made to endure. And I'm 34, right? And so, like, it's going to be a while, right? I've been alive for a while, and a lot of my friends have already had a lot of issues. And so, I think it's the stress, and I've been, like, not getting a lot of sleep in a lot of days too with, like, anxiety. And so, yeah.
Before I even get into any of that, I want to show you something. This is everything keeping me alive. Focus. Fucking shit. Damn. So let me start off by saying that I'm not the healthiest individual. I don't work out like I used to. I don't do cardio like I used to. And when I say like I used to, I was active duty Air Force for almost 15 years. I got to points where I was chubby and didn't do PT as much. I think my first duty station, I got up to about 210, 215 pounds, was a little big, but then when I got to my second base, I had lost so much weight. I was down to 178, 180. I'm 6'2". I hit my peak height when I was probably in the 9th grade, when I was 14, 15 years old. I've been 6'2" since I was 14 years old. I was doing 45 minutes up to maybe an hour on the elliptical, and then I would do squadron PT, and then me and the guys in my shop, we would play basketball for 45 minutes, maybe an hour afterwards. And I say that on purpose. I said basketball on purpose because that's what we called it, because that was how we rolled. That was the kind of environment that we had. That was the kind of shop that we had. We had a nice, light, playful environment. Honestly, I wish I had enlisted sooner. Should have done it straight out of high school. Maybe I would not have met my wife, though. And then if I didn't meet my wife, I wouldn't have had my son. I wouldn't be where I am now if none of those things happened. So it's good that things did. What? Obviously, diet is a huge factor in how your body operates. Like any vehicle, it is the fuel that keeps it running. And if any other factor is to compete with diet, it would be sleep. The quantity of sleep and quality of your sleep. I think those two things are competing for the gold medal to, keep it relevant. Those two things are what is most important to your body feeling good and being good, like holistically speaking. If we're going to look at your body as a machine, which throughout the ages, people look at their surroundings and then they try to apply those surroundings to the things that they know little to nothing about. And the soup du jour, as it were, is, hey, let's look at our bodies, let's look at our consciousness as if they are machines, as if they are computers. If our bodies were like machines, were like automobiles, then the food that we ingest, that is the petrol, that is the oil. And if we put in garbage ass fuel and pitifully filtered or non-filtered oil, just chunky ass garbage, then what do we expect to happen when our bodies literally break down? And if we do not give our engines time to rest, if we do not turn off the ignition and just lay down for a minute, how do we dare be surprised when our vehicles, when our bodies break down? Sometimes a vehicle comes off the assembly line not at 100%. All my medications here are for actual fucking things that hurt. This is my Prestique, and this is my Wellbutrin. These two together, for the most part, keep the suicidal thoughts and ideations at bay. Wow, that is, I didn't think we were going to jump right into that. I just grabbed a bottle at random. I guess I could have grabbed the Rinvoq, which is for my Crohn's disease. Could have started off light, talking about my tummy troubles. I have been seeing a mental health provider, counselor, psychiatrist, therapist, whatever terminology you want to use, for the last 17, 16 years. And I don't know if that, and I don't know if from that you would interpret, wow, it doesn't work, or that I am still here, because I think otherwise I wouldn't be. Maybe you would interpret that as effective. I don't know. It depends on your perspective on things. Regardless, I do know that at my lowest points, at my truest nadirs, I have written suicide notes to my son. My son just turned 6. I don't want anybody to know that feeling. I don't want anybody to be in that position. I don't want anybody to be in that state of mind. To seriously sit down and consider that that they're about to just, that they don't know how to say goodbye. And this was a couple years ago. So he was 3, maybe 4. How do you... I don't want anybody to know that. And I guess kudos to Asmon for saying, like, hey, he's trying to give the human body credit. He's trying to give, the human mind credit that, it is built, to overcome these things. Sometimes it just simply can't do it. Sometimes you have a vehicle and it approaches a hill or a mountain and it just can't climb it. Not everybody is a truck, and not every road that you're traveling is flat and paved smooth. Again, I don't want to discredit diet and exercise. These are... It wouldn't be a guilty video without one of those. And relationships, healthy relationships with people. There's a thing that in the Air Force, and it might even be a DoD-wide thing, there's the 4 pillars of, I don't remember what the rest of it was, 4 pillars of healthy living or some shit. There's physical, there's mental, there's spiritual, and then there's another one. I don't remember what the other one is. These 4 pillars are supposed to nurture, and if you keep them healthy, then theoretically they will buttress you as a whole. But let's be honest here. The mindset that medication's bad or that I don't want to be on medication because what? There's some sort of pride factor, or is there a perception that it's a crutch? I'm sorry. I go back to my point that not everybody is a truck, and not every road that we're driving is smooth and paved. It doesn't sound like his is either. And I didn't even think about this until just now. What about the things that aren't even our own faults? Like Crohn's disease does not run in my family. I'm the first one in my family to have a gastrointestinal issue. Like, my dad had a stent put in when he was 38. I'm 38. But he had a stent put in when he was that age because he smoked and he had a terrible diet. His father, my paternal grandfather, died at 74, I think. He slid Joe Biden style into dementia. He had, I think, a quadruple bypass. There might be more heart-related stuff in my family history just on that side. But my blood pressure routinely, and I don't do cardio, like I said, like I used to. I used to run an 11-minute mile and a half. Fastest mile and a half I ever ran was, 10:30? My resting heart rate, I think my best resting was 48 beats per minute. Now I might be around 70, 75. And my heart pressure, my blood pressure now is 120 over 80, 120 over 70. I think that sucks, but it's normal. Shake the 8-ball. Outlook seems fine when it comes to my heart, even though my family history, heart-wise, is pretty checkered. On the mom's side, alcoholism, bad. And maybe that's where some of the mental health stuff comes from as well. So maybe there is a predisposition for that, for this. I'm not sure. You shouldn't try toughening up and just doing the thing. I mean, I'm with you on that. Like, that's my motto. Do the damn thing. Just do the damn job, right? But this isn't, being a construction worker and holding a flag and waving traffic across. Sometimes you don't know. You think you might because it's your body. It's you, right? You think you know your own vehicle. You think you know the thing that you're occupying. Because they know. I know. I'm not going to speak in that detached way on this one. Depression is so evil. So messed up. It's really messed up. The thing with it is that you are stuck in this quicksand. And you shouldn't be there. You don't belong there. And you want out of it so goddamn bad. But you can't. You can't climb out of it. I used to wallow in it. I used to sit in it because I felt like that was what I deserved. I felt that was where I belonged. But that was just being dramatic and retarded. Call it what it is. If you're younger and you're watching this, you grow out of that, man. There's a lot of shit that happens when you're a teenager, and it's just your head trying to sort shit out. If you are a teenager, if you're a young man and you're watching this, there is a freaking battle royale going on in your brain right now. It's totally normal. And you don't need medication right now for that. I mean, if it's getting like really crazy, if it's getting like to the point where you feel like your thoughts might be a little dark or a little out of your own control, if you can't rein some of those thoughts or urges or anything in, if you can't exert control, if you feel like you're losing control, maybe it's something you can talk to a doctor about or talk to a counselor about. But it's perfectly normal for a teenager. I wrote some dark but trite stuff when I was a teenager because that's what happens. And by the time you get into your early to mid 20s, you will grow out of it. I already had to grow up kind of quick because of my upbringing. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But being 20 and boot, grew up kind of fast there. My first deployment came, I don't even think I hit my 2-year mark yet. And they deployed me. Grew up kind of quick on the way over there, but then I got there and it was a lot of fun. So I kind of grew back a little bit, or I grew down. Yeah. But along the way, from there to here to now, I met my wife. And my wife is who helped me the most. My wife will smile and joke and laugh, saying that she fixed me. I think most women will see a man, they'll be like, I can fix him. She knew I had my problems, and she knew that they were kind of like deep-seated. But she knew that with time, with care, with love, but she knew that I was a good man. She would need patience, but I would need to put in effort, right? And we are 15 years in. We're coming up on, let's see, we met August 31st, 2007. So what was that, 17 years ago? Yeah. I knew it. I knew when I first met her. I knew when I met her. Like, that one. I want that one. I'm going to marry that girl. And she saw me and was like, that's a big zit on your forehead there. So we were totally in sync. I don't think it's wise to just, in one blanket statement, say no medications, no help in that respect. Not even just say that, but to say that they're bad, to have the opinion that they're bad, that they have an adverse effect. I mean, I get it with the COVID vaccine, okay? Oh, you didn't do any studies on whether it actually would prevent transmission, but you said it would anyway. Yeah, all those efficacy rates you were telling us about. Is it a contradiction to say that, but at the same time, sympathize with suspicion? Nevertheless, these medications have years of data and science and clinical trials behind them. And if you need them, you shouldn't be averse to getting them. I don't know. It's just it's a peculiar attitude to have. And I think it's an unhealthy attitude to have, which is ironic because Asmon says he wants to be healthy. I'll be surprised if I actually cut up this 55-minute ramble and publish it, but in the event I do publish this, and you do watch it, thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. And until next time, like, subscribe, and go outside. Another thing I should talk about is stay away from politics. Don't read anything about politics. Don't listen to podcasts about politics. Because that'll just fucking stress you out too. I mean, How can Time Magazine put you on the cover, but you don't do a fucking interview with them? How can anybody take you seriously? It's so fucking stupid. How she has an approval rating higher than 4 is fucking beyond me.